This is your Unit 8, Day 3 homework tutorial. I'll work through all the odd problems with you, but your task is to complete the entire worksheet, just FYI. So in this lesson, we talked about our special right triangles. So for number 1, the special right triangle is 45, 45, 90. And on our formula chart, it says across from 45 is x, so there's two x's because there's two 45s. And across from 90 is x root 2. So always keep that formula in mind. So when I look at number 1, we have a 45 up here, not shown, but across from it, we have 14 labeled. So there should be a 14 in this part of the table. And since there's a 14 across from that 45, let's complete the rest of our table. So across from the other 45 should also be 14. And if we're following the pattern, it's x, x, x root 2. So our pattern is 14, 14. So that means the next thing that should come is 14 root 2. Now let's look back at the picture. So we have a 45-degree angle, and across from it is y. So that means y is equal to 14. And then it wants us to look across the right angle, and you see x. So that means x is 14 square root of 2. So again, I repeat, and you probably need to rewrite it, but x equals 14 square root of 2, and y equals 14. And then box your answer. That's your answer. That's it. There's really no mathematics involved necessary. You just simply need to remember this pattern. So for number 3, it's also a 45, 45, 90. So just, again, get in the habit of writing that out as well as the pattern. All right, and looking at the picture to see what's on it. So across from 45, we have 22 right here. So put a 22. And then that means there's also going to be another 22 when we complete the table. And that means across from 90, we would have 22 root 2. So now let's look at the picture. Across from this 45-degree angle is y. So that means y is 22. And then across from the 90-degree angle is x. So that means x is 22 root 2. So again, x is equal to 22 root 2. Y is equal to 22. Number 5 is also a 45, 45, 90. So x, x, x root 2. Now let's look at the picture and see what information it tells us. We have the side across from 45 as 88. So that means the other side is also 88. And again, complete the table. You're going to have 88 root 2. Now let's go back and answer the questions. So x is across from 90. So when I look at my table, across from 90 is 88 root 2. So that's x. And then y is across from 45. So that means it is 88. Number 7. Now we start getting into the 30, 60, 90 triangle. So of course that has a new pattern. So 30, 60, 90 follows the pattern x, x, root 3, and 2x. So let's look at the picture and see what information it tells us. We have across from 30 as 9. So that means everywhere I see x in my table, I'm going to put 9. So underneath 60, I'm going to put 9 root 3. And underneath 90, I'm going to put 2 times 9. And then calculate that. 2 times 9, I get 18. And now go back and look at the picture and answer the question. So this missing angle has to be 60. Across from 60 is y. So y is 9 root 3. And then x is across from 90. So x is 18. So on this one, x equals 18 and y equals 9 root 3. Number 9, again, it's a 30, 60, 90. So again, the pattern is x, x root 3, and 2x. So now let's look at the picture and see what it shows. We again are given across from 30 is 20. So again, everywhere we see x in the table, we're going to replace it with 20. So that across from 60 would be 20 root 3. Across from 90 would be 2 times 20, which is 40. And now back to the picture. So this missing angle is 60 right here. Across from 60 is x. So that means x is going to equal 20 root 3. And then across from 90 is y. So that means y is equal to 40. So again, x is 20 root 3 and y is 40. So as long as you show this pattern, there's really no work to be shown. So show the pattern in the table like I have done and every single time, and that lets me know you understand what you're doing and you didn't just copy down the answer from somewhere. All right, let's look at number 11 and number 13. Those are our final questions. Excuse me. Number 11 says, if the perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 6 inches, what is the length of an altitude? So if it's equilateral, that means all 3 sides are equal. So if the total is 6 and I divide that by 3, that means each side is 2. So let's draw ourselves an equilateral triangle. I'm going to cheat. And we need an altitude. All right. The altitude serves as a median as well. So this piece is equal to this piece. Let's label the sides. So this is 2, this is 2. That means this is 1 and this is 1. And here's my right angle. So we talked about it in our notes, but if you missed that piece, this is going to be 60, I'm sorry, yeah, 60, and this is 30. So we're looking for the side across from the 60-degree angle, essentially. So we can write our table. It's 30, 60, 90. The pattern, x, x root 3, and 2x. So we have across from 30, and that's 1. We also have across from 90, and that's 2. So across from 30, if I look at my table, is x. So everywhere I see x, I should put a 1, right? So there should be a 1 in front of the square root of 3. So the length of the altitude is going to be 1 square root 3, or just square root 3 inches. All right, number 13 says determine the length of the leg of a 45, 45, 90 triangle if the hypotenuse is 36 centimeters. So draw yourself this triangle. And again, you know, these are 45. Oh, and you also know the hypotenuse across from the right angle is 36. So label that. So according to the formula chart, the pattern is x, x, x root 2. And so far, we have across from 90 as 36. So in other words, x root 2 is equal to 36. So we're going to solve this equation for x. We have to get x by itself. To do that, first, you're going to divide both sides by square root of 2. That way, the square root of 2 will cancel on the left, and all you have is just x. But now on the right, you have 36 over the square root of 2. We also talked about it in class that you have to rationalize your denominator. You have to get the root from out underneath. So to do that, you're going to take square root of 2 times over the top and the bottom. When you do that, we told you you're now going to have 36 square root of 2 at the top, and at the bottom, you're simply just going to have 2. And then we also mentioned that you need to reduce whenever possible. So 32 goes into 36 18 times and into itself once. So the final reduced answer for the leg is going to be 18 square root 2 centimeters. So this concludes your notes for this lesson. Good luck. I'm sorry, your tutorial. Finish the rest of the assignment.